Hey everyone, Ben from Living Survival, and today we're going to take a look at another knife from LT Wright. This is their Bushcrafter HC. This is another gauntlet review. I previously reviewed the Gary Wines Bushcrafter, which I thought was an excellent knife. This is a more affordable option, coming in at $75 without a sheath, so pretty good deal there. There are some definite differences, so we're going to go into those. We're going to look at the features, and then we'll play around with it. So stick with me. So size-wise on the Bushcrafter HC, it is 8 1/4 inches overall with a 3 5/8 cutting edge, so a little bit smaller than the Gary Wines as far as the edge goes. It is made from 1075 high carbon steel, and it has a convex edge. So we can take a closer look here at the convex edge and that two-step patina. Pretty cool patina there. I heard elsewhere that it was done with white vinegar and mustard. So for those of you that don't know, basically putting a patina on your knife will help minimize any rust that may develop. Close-up of the awesome bead blasted micarta scales that LT puts on his knives. I think it's one of the nicest handle finishes that I've seen on knives. It's got great texture to it. It's not too slippery, and of course the grip improves when it gets wet or your hands get sweaty and sticky. You're going to get a nice firm grip on this knife with that bead blasted micarta. You have some nice looking pins here, full tang knife, and then of course a generous lanyard hole, which you guys know that I love. It has 3/32 blade thickness as opposed to the 5/32 on the Gary Wines knife, so I'm not sure how I'm going to like that thin of a blade profile. And then it's also got this finger groove on the front of the barrel style handle. It's also got some tapering here on the front, which again I like to have a little bit thicker handle material there in the front, because otherwise I get a hot spot right here in my grip. But we'll have to see how I like using this one. It does feel very comfortable in my hand. It feels like I have a nice firm grip, and it feels like it's going to be great for, you know, up close carving and things like that. Also for skinning game, the 3/32 probably works a little bit better than those thicker knives with the Scandi or saber grind. So again, we're just gonna have to check it out and see. Just like many of LT's knives, it comes with a awesome leather sheath made by JRE. Again, you're getting a phenomenal deal on this combo set here. $75 for the knife without a sheath, or $105 with the sheath, making this a $35 sheath. So a high quality leather sheath with a ferrocerium rod holder and a leather dangler is a fantastic deal for $35. So I've got a dead cedar tree here, so I'm gonna go ahead and see how this 90-degree spine works. And that's the advantage of having a 90-degree spine. You can see that we can get real fluffy tinder very easily just by a little bit of scraping. The real advantage to that thinner blade profile and that convex edge is the ability to just get paper thin feathers. And again, I wouldn't use this knife to baton. It just doesn't have enough length in the blade. It really is a feather sticking machine. You can create some really fine feathers very easily with the Bushcrafter HC. I found a tree which has loads of pine pitch on it, so I'm going to collect some of that for my fire. That's really all I'm going to need, and there's loads more on the tree. Just going to kind of try to scrape down this pine resin a little bit. And I'll try to get a spark going. Now, pine pitch isn't the easiest to get going, but once you get it going, it really will burn for quite a long time. As you can see, it gives you plenty of time here. So I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at the Bushcrafter HC from LT Wright Knives. I'm going to put some links below to their website where you can check out more about this knife and then all the other knives that they currently have in production. Again, this is a gauntlet review, so I'm also going to put links to thegauntlet.tv where you can see this knife and all the other products that we review in the gauntlet, as well as all the associated channels. I think the Bushcrafter model is a great value for the money. Again, $75 without a sheath is a fantastic price for a high quality handmade knife. And then of course add an additional $35, which is nothing for a leather sheath of that quality, getting you up to $105 for a great knife and a great sheath. I think that's a deal that's hard to beat. For me, the knife is a little bit small. When I get into a knife of that size, anything under about 4 inches, I usually switch to my neck knife. I've even batoned with my neck knife before, so I can do all the wood processing, even some heavier wood processing, and of course food prep and animal game prep and things like that with my neck knife. So generally my preference is a larger chopping blade or a hawk or a axe, depending on how much wood I think I'm going to need to process, and then a mid-size knife like a 4, 5, or 6 inch knife for my wood processing and general camp bushcraft type chores. And then again, when I get into the smaller size knife, I prefer a neck knife. So the Bushcrafter is a little bit small for me. Also on the handle, I prefer to have the handles a little bit thicker up front. It tapers down, and a lot of people like that design, but I prefer to have a little bit thicker handle, or at least a continuous handle all the way up to the cutting surface. The finger groove really doesn't do much for me. I'd prefer it not to be there. Again, I'm a guy that likes just a basic thick handle on my knives, and no matter where I put my hand on the knife, I like to be able to have the same amount of grip and the same amount of pressure that I'm putting on my hand. Also, since I do a lot of wood processing for smaller fires, especially when I'm using like a portable stove, for example, I do like to have a little bit thicker blade, a 5/32 or larger. It just helps with splitting down some of that smaller firewood and doesn't dig into the knife as well. The Gary Wines Bushcrafter has a 5/32 blade, and with that Scandi grind, it did phenomenal for that size blade, and you should definitely check that review out as well. But for those of you that do not mind the thinner blade and like a a little bit smaller blade for your bushcraft or camp chores and things like that, and don't like to carry things like a neck knife, definitely you're going to want to check the Bushcrafter HC out, because it's probably going to be a perfect knife for you. I love the bead blasted micarta handles that LT puts on his knives. They have grip whether they're dry or wet, and I think it is the perfect material when it comes to a handle for a bushcraft style knife. So I hope you guys give this video a big thumbs up. I hope you leave me some comments below. I do try to answer each and every comment that comes in, especially for you new subscribers. Go ahead and leave me a comment and I will reply. Please share this video on all your social media, Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. And as always guys, if you haven't clicked that subscribe button, go ahead and click it for more videos.